Big, big, big butts of the Bible with the pastor Yahoo. Halfway through the year, this is week 26, and we're going to find ourselves in a strange little book in the Old Testament, Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 2. Everybody knows who Nehemiah was, right? He was one of the shortest guys in the Bible.
Nehemiah. He was just a little bit taller than Bildad the Shuhite. And I found out this week that there was even one guy smaller. There was a soldier in the Bible that was so small, it said he slept on his watch. Okay, enough funny stuff. Let's get to something serious.
Nehemiah chapter 2. Nehemiah is about restoration and rebuilding. Let's read. Starting in verse 17. Then I said to them, "You see the trouble we are in, how Jerusalem lies in ruins with its gates burned? Come, let us build the wall of Jerusalem, that we may no longer suffer derision." And I told them of the hand of my God that had been upon me for good, and also the words the king had spoken to me. And they said, "Let us rise up and build." Dun, 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 dun. So they strengthened their hands for the good work. You might be thinking, well, where's the big but in this story? Verse 19.
But when, here's the villains, Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem heard it, they jeered at us and despised us and said, "What is this thing that you are doing?"
So, God gives us a plan. We're going to rebuild the walls. We're going to bring restoration. We get excited. Our hands are strengthened. We're ready to do the good work. And then people mock us. What are you doing? You're not going to be able to do that. You're weak. You're small. There's only a few of you. You can't change your city. You can't rebuild your church. You can't restore your marriage. Then I replied to them, quote, "The God of heaven will make us prosper, and we, his servants, will arise and build." And then he comes up with his own big butt back to them. "But you doubters, you disbelievers, you mockers, you who try to stand in the way of God's good work, but you will have no portion or right in the claim in Jerusalem." God's going to do good things, and we want to be a part of it. So let's join in with what God's doing, strengthen our hands, and rebuild and bring restoration to what God has put in front of us. In fact, it says later on that they had to encourage themselves, and it said the joy of the Lord would be their strength. And that they at one time had to have a trowel in one hand and a sword in the other, because they had to build, and at the same time they had to defend from their enemies that would attack them. But they did it. And in 52 days, I think it was, they rebuilt the wall in Jerusalem.
Big butts of the Bible.